Hello and welcome to Azure's Live, Mert to the Future. Today we are going to talk about Power Apps and Power BI, and my guest is May Alhajri, aka Agent 008. May, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for having me today.
I am fine, thank you. Before we start, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. My name is May Alhajri. I have been graduated with computer engineering bachelor degree. I'm Saudi and I'm based in Saudi Arabia. I'm half Saudi, half Syrian actually, and I'm working as a digital analyst within a Schlumberger company. And I'm active on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Meetup. I'm arranging a lot of sessions related to Power Platform and a lot of topics. And also, I have an experience with several projects within the company within Saudi Arabia for almost 5 years. And you can call me Agent 008.
So, what is Agent 008?
So the story behind Agent 008, actually, there is a program within Schlumberger company, and it's led by Alan Chai. He is the digital engagement manager within Schlumberger. So the idea behind this program, actually, he is looking for the specific person or different persons actually within the company. They have the talent of like solving a problem very fast by using a Power Platform tools, and he found like different agents actually. We have almost 11 to 12 agents, and for me, I'm agent 008. I choose this number because we have James Bond 007. Then I said no, I want to be 008 after him. So then I get his approval from Alan that is it okay to use this logo outside with the community and start to introduce me as a agent 008 to be as my brand. Then he said okay. So Agent 008 is my logo within Schlumberger and even outside the Schlumberger. And I will keep using this logo because many people now they know me with Agent 008. So this is my story with the Agent 008 in very quick way. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, I am not very familiar with Power Apps, and I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea what Power Apps is. So, can you
Mm-hmm.
please start with describing Power Apps?
Yeah, sure. So are you able to see my screen? Just a minute, let me share. Okay, so today actually I would like to share with you what's Power BI, what's Power Apps, and how we can integrate Power BI into Power Apps, and how we can embed Power BI tiles in Power Apps. So let me start. But do you have any idea about Power BI before we jump to Power Apps?
Yes, I have used Power BI before, but I
Mm-hmm.
have no experience in Power Apps.
Okay. So so I will start with Power Apps. Do you know that with Power Apps you can build a lot of application in easiest way? Power Apps actually it's a tool from Microsoft, and it will help you. And actually, it's a low-code platform that will help you to build your application, and and also using a different data source like a SharePoint, Excel, or different data source that we have it actually. And while we are doing the live demo, I will show you very quick, like the main steps or the main functionality that we have it within Power Apps while we are doing the Power Apps and Power BI demo. So if you are looking to build an application in easiest way, and actually while you are building the application, you will learn a lot of things. For me, I started by building a lot of application and learning at the same time, because while you are building the application you will see like what if I want to add this one, what if I want to remove this one. So then you will start to search on the community on a lot of places. Then you will start to develop yourself by learning more and more related to this tool. So this is Power Apps so far. So do you have any question related to Power Apps before we jump to Power BI and all these live demo?
Okay, I want to ask about Power Apps. I'm a developer, but
Mhm.
is it required to have a development experience to use Power Apps?
So, uh, for me, actually, I know C++, Java. So, if you are familiar with this language, you will find this one. It's really easy to use. Even the language that we have, it's easy to use, like similar to the Excel that we have it. Like if you can put a condition if this equals, so it's just a basic things that you need to learn it at the beginning, then you can move forward with a lot of functionality. For me, I started with Power Apps with zero knowledge about any tools that we have it. And while I'm building the application, I look to the YouTube, to the community, start like, for example, how can I build a form in Power Apps? I search it on YouTube, on the community, and there is a lot of videos. There is a lot of application and template built in. So as a beginner, what I did and what I suggest for anyone, there is already a template built in Power Apps. You can start by building your first application by using these templates. It's really helpful. You just need to understand and they are actually putting like the steps, what kind of steps you need to follow while you are building this application. Like if we are using a data source, a collections, a lot of things. So this is my suggestion as a beginner, to use the templates that built in, and there's a lot of templates actually. I will show it to you while we are doing the live demo. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is for Power Apps. Any other question before we move to Power BI?
No, not yet.
Okay, so Power BI, most of the people now they are using Power BI, and most of the people now they are familiar with Power BI. Power BI, it's a visualization tool that actually help many people. They are doing the analysis report for their business or for their any specific data they have. And the most important things and the powerful things actually with Power BI, and really I love this thing with Power BI, that you can combine a different data source. But you need to put on your consideration, like what kind of data source do I need to have, the relationship of the data source, and what kind of that the connect type that I need to use, like a live connection, direct query, or import data. So while you are building your dashboard, all this stuff you can learn it, and like how what kind of things you need to focus on. Power BI actually helped me a lot of my organization within my company. Actually, like if we build an application, what if I want to track a specific things? Because within Power Apps, it's like the user interface, it's like the input application for the user. But what if I want to have a full report, a full dashboard, to see, for example, where we are, what kind of data source or what kind of entry do we have from the user? So Power BI, it's really a helpful tool that help you to build your visualization, build your own dashboard by using a lot of visualization that available within Power BI. So this is Power BI, and I'm sure most of the people now they are familiar with Power BI, and it's really helpful tool because you know you can do a lot of things. And the purpose of our meeting today, you can use Power BI, you can use Power Apps individually, but if you believe in this sentence, power or this quote, powerful alone, better together, it means if you believe in this one, this session will help you to know how we can integrate two tools together. And our main focus today in Power Apps, Power BI, and maybe also you can integrate like Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent. So a lot of tools. This is the powerful things with Power Platform, that you can use each tool individually and you can combine all the tool together to provide you a one solution for example a specific business case or any case that you are building the whole platform. And actually I have been built a lot of things within my company, and the whole package, like the user interface, the dashboard or report to track everything. And from there we can send a flow by using Power Automate. I'm not sure if you are familiar with Power Automate. uh, Power Automate, it's a tool that help you to automate your task rather than doing things like manually. You can automate your task by using Power Automate, and it's really easy to use. And also we have a Power Automate, we have a Power Virtual Agent if you need to add like your question and the answer, to make sure that your end user will be able to drop their question and someone will answer their question. So you can use a Power Virtual Agent. So a lot of tools that really helpful for any business case that we have it. So do you have any question before we move to the how we can integrate Power Apps into my Power BI? I cannot hear you. Can you hear?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. There was a tool called DataZen. I have used a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is similar to Power BI, or it's a total different tool because it is used for reporting.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the name of this tool? I didn't heard
Data
about it
Zen.
before. Data Zen. Actually, I don't. So it's like analysis tool, or
It's
like you.
like dashboards for
No.
reports.
Mm, Actually, I didn't hear before about this tool, but if it's analysis tool or it's like a dashboard or something, so it's for sure it's like similar to Power BI. That's what we have it. And while I'm showing now my dashboard or my report, you will be able to see if it's similar to. But is this tool like it's is it from Microsoft? I didn't hear about it before.
Yes, Microsoft.
Really?
Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah, I think
Data,
Microsoft
data.
Data
Mm-hmm.
Zen and
Data.
Microsoft.
Okay.
It's a different company, but as far as I know, Microsoft bought it.
Ah, okay. Okay, I will search about it. It's good to know so I can
Okay.
read more about it. Okay, so now I will show you how we can integrate Power Apps into Power BI. As I mentioned, it's like you can combine different tools together and you can like add your application to your Power BI and you can add your a Power BI tiles in your dashboard in your application. Sorry. So let me now share my report that I built it by using Power BI. So, are you able to see now the dashboard that the report from Power BI that I have been built it? Okay,
Yes, let me make it
cool.
full screen.
Okay, sure. So I have been built a very quick app, report. It's really easy. I will give you an overview about the tool before to jump how we can add the application here. So if you want to build your report or your dashboard, you need to have a Power BI desktop. And after you install it, actually, you just need to know, for example, here, you will be able, once you open it, you will see like empty page. You will not be able to see any colors or anything here. So it will be like similar to this page. Let me open another page similar to this page. And from there, from the tab here that you have it, it means that how many report do you have, how many pages do you have. So how can I get my data? For example, here in our scenario here, I'm connecting my Power BI to a SharePoint site actually to build this report. So for any scenario or anything, how you can connect your data, it doesn't mean that you need to connect to SharePoint. So from here, you can click on get data from home, get data, and you just need to go and search about your data source, what kind of data that you want to link to your Power BI. And from there, you will be able, so it will take just a few seconds so we can see how many data sources do we have here. So like if you have an Excel, if you have an SQL, like if you have XML text and more like PDF, SharePoint folder, Access, SQL server, Oracle, IBM, and more and more. And Azure, if you have a data for Azure, actually you can import it, you can link it to your Power BI. So the first step for me, if I want to build any report or dashboard, for sure I need to know what kind of data source do I need to connect. Second, I just need to know what kind. For example, here I have only one data source. So after you import your data, so you will be able to see your data source here under fields. Okay, so here I have only one type of data source, which is here I call it certificates, because the main idea behind this report is actually to do a quick report to track my certificates in easiest way. And from here, if I have, let's see, I have three different data source, so you'll be able to see all the data source name here under this fields. So from here, once you click on it, you will be able to see the column name. So all this, it's the column names that I have it on my SharePoint actually list. From there, you can start by building your visualization. Like from here, you need to select your visualization. For example, if I want to select like a card, and after you have two way, either you select your visual and start to add any column that you want to add it here, or for example, let me add how many title do I have, which is the title, and let me like count, or let me add it's a blank here because I don't have any title on my SharePoint. And you can change the format by using here. Now I'm giving you a very quick overview about Power BI because the purpose of our session today to show you how we can embed the Power Apps. I'm just showing this because in case if anyone not familiar with Power BI, and I have been posted a lot of session related to Power BI and Power Apps on my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos. Okay, as I mentioned, from here you will be able to see all the visualization that available. If you want to see more, there is a cool place actually. You can click get more visuals actually. It's like a marketplace for all the visualization that we have it. And from there, you can check what kind of visualization do we have, and you can import it to your Power BI. And it's free to use actually. There is no cost for any visual that we have it under app source. You just need to click add, and once you add, look at here, we will be able to see it here. Okay. And also we have like you need to focus after you import your data, you need to focus on the relationship between the data. So in our scenario, we have here, we have only one SharePoint list. So there's no relationship. I don't have any other data type. But what if you have like two or three data source and there is a specific key columns that you need to link between all your data source? It means you need to focus on the relationship, which is here. So here under we have only certificates. If you have another data type, you will be able to see it here, and you need to start like build the relationship. Is it one to one, many to one, and so on. So you need to be to be aware about this one. Most of the people they are not getting the correct numbers on their visualization because they are not aware about the relationship that they need to build it between their data source. Okay. So let us back to our main topic here. So I have been built a quick report, and the purpose of this report to track my certificates. Okay, and I have a table here contain the month, the exam name, the status for the exam, and the exam is given by which company. And here I have the total of my certificates for this year, how many completed, how many under progress, and how many not started. And here I add an easy filter to filter like by month. For example, if I want to filter, let me see by previous month, you can click here and start filtering your table. The question now, what if I have an application and I want to add my application that I already built it by using a Power Apps. I want to add it here to my report. Is it possible to do this? So here I will share with you two scenarios. First scenario, what if I have an application that not related to the same topic? For example, it's for another data source, not for the certificates. Is it possible to add my application here to the Power BI, or I will face an issue? So how we can add any application to our Power BI report actually? It's really easy by following this step. First, from visualization, there is a visual here with the icon of Power Apps. You just need to click on it. And once you click on it, you will be able to see like how to get started, this step. But there is no button to click. Why? Because here, if we look at the apps, Power Apps data, there is nothing. You just need to add, for example, I will add like the ID, anything here, because I just wanted to add like I have an application, it's about the Earth Day, and I want to link it to my report, but it's not connect at all to the data source. It's different data source. I just wanted to add it to make it easier for me, like to see all my application on my Power BI report. So from here, after you add like ID or any column here to your Power Apps data, you will be able to see two button here. First one, choose app or create new. Okay. So now I will go with the first scenario, which is choose an app. Okay. From here, choose an app. It means I will select from my environment any application that I want to embed it to my report. It doesn't matter if we have the same data source that we are using, or you have it in your Power BI. So make sure you are selecting the correct environment that you already built your application. For example, I have agent 008. Okay, but here I'm using the same data source, so even though it doesn't matter, but for example, I want to use the Earth Day, so let me add the Earth Day. And here it will give you an option. Do you want to go to Power Apps Studio and do some modification, or to finalize your data connection, or you just skip it from here? And here we go. So now I'm able to connect my Power Apps that with a different data source, different purpose, not related to my Power BI report at all. It's something else. It's not for the certificate. It's about the Earth Day. And I can do the all functionality. For example, here, what if I want to do the daily quiz? I can click here. What if I want to see the documents that I have it for the Earth Day? You can you can use your application like you are using from Power Apps actually. So and it's not the same data source. And whatever you are updating here within your application, it will not link to your Power BI because you are not connect any data source that you have it in your Power Apps here. But it will be impact direct to your data source that you have it in your application for sure. This is the first scenario. Are we able to connect any application that we have it on our Power Apps to our Power BI report, even if it's not the same data source? The answer is yes, you are able to do this. Second scenario, what if I want to add an application, okay? Or what if I want to build an application based on the data source that I have it on my report? And I want, for example, I want to do, for example, here within Power BI, you are not able to do the modification, right? And this is the purpose of integrate Power Apps. For example, I want to edit my like exam name here without going back to the original source. For example, here our original data source is SharePoint. So if I want to modify this certificate, business management here, without going to the SharePoint and do it every time from the data source, or maybe Excel or whatever, what kind of data source that you have it. I want to do it immediately from the report. How can I do this? Similar way, you just need to add your Power Apps visual here, and you just need to add exam name, for example, whatever column that you want to have it is given by, select the correct columns that you want to work on it, like a status, month, and certification. And now what you need to do, you have two options, similar way, create a new or choose an app, right? So what I will do here actually, you don't need to you don't need to choose an app because you want to create something from scratch, right? If you don't have already. And if you click on a create a new actually, let me show you what you will have in your Power Apps. Okay, if you get this message, just ignore it and click OK. And once you click OK, let me bring another screen here so you'll be able to see what will happen. Just a minute. So now, after you click go to the Power Apps Studio, you will be able to go to the Power Apps Studio, which is the place that you will build your application. Okay, and actually, you must create a new app if you want to edit, or if you want whatever you are updating in your Power BI or Power Apps with while you are using a Power BI, you must to create a new, because I will show you now, you will be able to see a function that they call it Power BI integration. And this function actually will be available while you are click on create a new, because you are integrate the data source that you have it in your Power BI, and from there you will be able to do the modification and reflect it back direct to your Power BI. So if we look at here now, after we create a new, we will be able to see like getting things ready, and from there, if you are able to see this one, Power BI integration, it means we are integrate the data, and we are reading the data that we have it on our Power BI source. And from there, by default, you will be able to see the gallery here already located in your Power Apps. I'm not sure if you are familiar with Power Apps, so I don't want to go in advanced level or talk about Power Apps and advanced level. So I will just explain to you how we integrate, then I will give you a brief about Power Apps. So after you click create a new, so you will be able to see something here. We call it Power BI integration. And this function, it will be available in your app collection. And actually, this function will help you to do like to update your data source while you are embedded your application within Power BI reports. So for example, here we are able to see, for example, all the certificates, and this is the screen one. And you can build screen two, for example, here, if I want to build a specific form to update my record, I can do it easily from here. But I want to highlight something here. There is a limitation here. If you are using a data source that you by using import methodology, not direct query, actually, even if you build your application here and you embed it, you will not be able to reflect back whatever you have in your dashboard immediately. Why? Because if you want to update your data source or to update your visual immediately by using a Power Apps visual in your Power BI, you need to use a direct query methodology to connect or to add your data source by using a direct query, not import. You cannot use you cannot import your data, because in SharePoint you are importing your data to your Power BI. That's why you will face a problem while you are adding your visualization or your form and trying to submit. So before we go in deep details about it here, let me give you a brief about Power Apps. Power Apps, as I mentioned, it's a tool will help you to build your application. Okay. And how can I connect? So let me start by adding a blank page. So I will show you. So if you want to create any application, you need to go to powerapps.com, and from there, uh, you will be able to see similar to this page, like a screen. It's a blank screen. Or if you want to use a template already built in, there is a lot of templates. We have it there. You can select one and you can start by using the same scenario just to change the data source type that we have it. So from here, like, you will be able to see the tree view. You will be able to see your pages that you have it in your application, screen one, screen two. As much as you have, you will be able to see it here and start editing your application. For example, here, let me go back to the screen one. So here we can call this one as a gallery. Gallery, it means the data source that you have it. You can add a lot of functionality to the gallery and will help you to visualize your data source as a gallery. And from there you can add like a button. You can add a lot of functionality, like for example, what if I want to move this one? You need to focus. For example, if I want to edit any button that I have it here, you need to click here, and here we have a lot of things here. You need to keep your eyes on it. For example, here, what do we mean by display mode? What do we mean by on select? So if you want to do any action for any button or anything on select, you need to add your function or your code here under on select, and a lot of things. What I can suggest for you, build your first application by using a template, because this is the easiest way to learn more about Power Apps. So what else? For example, here, how can I know my data source? How can I connect the data source? From there, like insert, or let me show you. Yeah, from view here, data source, you will be able to see, for example, or to add. What if I want to add a SharePoint? You just need to click here and type SharePoint, and so on. Let's see if we have, if you want to add Azure here, you will be able to see or select the correct one. And this one, it's required a premium license. If you see this icon, it means you need to have a premium license for your plan in your Power Apps. And can I connect Excel, for example? Yes, I can import from Excel, and so on. So you just need to go from there and search about your data source. Then after you connect your data source, you can start by building like a form, like a gallery, and so on. So let us back to our main scenario here. So as I mentioned, let's assume that we build the application, and I'm okay to publish this one, and I already created by using the Power integration things that we have it on our Power BI. So how can I publish it? You just need to go here from file. It's already saved. Let me call it a test app 2. You can, for example, select any specific icon, background, and so on, and you can save it. From there, you can save it in your, for sure you need to save it in the cloud because you are publishing from there. And or you can save it in your computer as a package if you want to share it with other, and you can share it with other. Okay. And you can click on share if you want to share it with anyone. And let us go back now here. See, so now we already built an application that will help me to edit my data. Here we cannot edit the data because my report it's connect to the SharePoint. And there's a trick actually, but you need to have a premium license to use this trick. And maybe I can explain it with other session. It's really a cool trick that will help you if you have a premium license. How I can update my report or my visual by using Power Apps without using a direct query methodology. I can use import methodology. I can arrange a specific session about this one. Okay, so now I can. The first scenario was I can embed it any application on my Power BI report, even if we are not using the Power Integration data source that we have it, and I can create an app based on my data source and update my visualization. So, for example, here if I'm not connecting to SharePoint, if I'm using a direct methodology, for example, if I'm using SQL and if I have my application here, I click here and it show me a form and I update it with a new exam, it will be reflected immediately to my visualization. No need to do a schedule refresh, no need to do anything. And also, now as we are using a SharePoint list, and you will not be able to be the data to be reflected immediately, you need to do a refresh by yourself or a schedule refresh, or we can use another trick by using a Power Automate, which is we can arrange a specific session about it. So this is on how we can integrate Power Apps into Power BI report. And I want to highlight something here that after you share your Power BI with your colleague, make sure if you have any Power Apps, make sure that you are sharing the app with the same group or to the same people that you are sharing with them the report. Otherwise, they will not be able to open the application. They will be able to see the visualization for Power Apps, but they cannot do anything with your application. So this is for the first part on how we can integrate Power Apps into Power BI. Any questions so far before we move to the second example?
And I have a question. It
Okay,
looks
sure.
like an
Mhm,
Excel page, and I wonder if I can use custom scripts or macros
mhm.
to add as a new functionality. Is it
Within
possible?
you, within Power BI, you mean
No, Power Apps.
to use a specific functionality
Yes,
Mhm,
you have show some functions like
mhm,
Excel functions.
mhm. You mean here on Power Apps? Okay. So
Yes, there is an function logo and it's right and
mhm,
white.
mhm. You mean here
And
in this function?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
can I add custom functions with macros or any scripting language?
So actually, for any, you mean any, what kind of language you want to add? For example, here,
For
what
example, in
kind of?
Excel, we can add macros for custom
Mm.
functionality.
Actually, for this one, I didn't try it, and I'm not sure if we can use it here. I'm not sure. Actually, I didn't try it. There is a specific language that we can use it within Power Apps, and like it's really a specific language that you can. It's similar to the one that we have it on Excel. You can use it here on Power Apps, and also I can share with you the documentation that what kind of language that we can use it, and already built in the Power Apps. So you cannot customize your function based on what do you want to add. So there is already a built-in
Okay.
function. For example, here, if I want to add, let me see, count. Now here it's, so we have count A, count F, count rows. So already built in, and based on the function that built in, you need to put your parameters for this function. Yeah,
Okay.
so you cannot customize it. Yeah. But for example, you can use like if and count rows and a lot of things together to end up with the correct function that you want to have it for your gallery or whatever you are building on your application. And there's a lot of tricks that you can build it while you are using. Even if the function not available, you can build a trick or something to make it available. This is what I'm doing actually on my app. So I can share with you a lot of documents. It's really helpful. Documents will help you
Okay.
to understand what kind of things that we can add. Yeah. Okay, so any other question before we move to the second step?
No, not from me.
Okay, so now let me open this application and show you something. Now we will move to the second step, which is how we can embed Power BI tiles in Power Apps. So now I want to add a specific visualization that I have it on my Power BI to be on my Power Apps, which is the opposite way. How can I do this? Let me open this one, agent 008, and I will show you what kind of a step do we need to add. So I don't, for example, I have my report already built in, but I don't want to use my report. I have all the function, all the things that, all the functionality, everything on my Power Apps. And I have been built a several visualization like a table, like a card with the number. And I want to locate whatever that I have it on my Power BI report to be within my application without going back every time to my dashboard or I have a different time, because it depends on the user or the business case that we are dealing with. Maybe the end user, they want to have everything within Power Apps, and another user, he want to see everything within Power BI. So is it possible to do this? How we can do this? If it's possible, how I can do this? So now we will see if it's possible to do this and how we can do it. So first, after we, for example, let me remove this one because we are using now another scenario. So let me remove this one. So now I have been created this report and I want to share it or I want to publish it on the workspace. Okay. What should I do? After you save it, you just need to publish it. And here I will publish it under my workspace. And after you save it, now we're supposed to see like the whole workspace that we have it that available on our on Power BI. So we can select any specific place and we can publish our Power BI. It will take a few seconds, so we'll be able, here we go. So you just select the correct workspace from there. So just you need to click on select. So as an end user, you don't need to share the file with the end user. Just share it as a link with the end user. And now why I'm publishing this one if I want to use the Power Apps. So what's the purpose of publishing this one? So I have the visualization. Why should I do this one? So now let me explain to you by going back to the application here. Okay, so now I have this application which is related to the same scenario for the certificates. I have the full functionality already built in an easiest way. Like I call it never stop learning. I have here, let me open it here. Like I have all my certificates. I can edit the certificate by edit here from clicking here, and I can change the status, I can change the name, the date, I can attach the certificate, I can add the cost and the company that exam is given by, and I can save it and cancel. And whatever I'm updating here, it will be reflected back immediately to my data source, which is a SharePoint here. Okay, so now our main purpose to see how I can to add, for example, here, let me go to the dashboard or to the report that I publish it here. So now I have this report already published on my workspace, and I want to add, let me go back here. And actually what I want to have here, like I have all my functionality, everything within my app. And I don't want to go back to my report. I just wanted to go and check from here. Like I want to add a Power BI tiles here to check. For example, I want to have a card that I have it on my report to be added to my Power Apps. How can we do this? First step, you need to publish your Power BI report on the Power BI service, which is the workspace, which is we already did it now. Okay. Second, after you go to the Power BI service, you just need to go here and click on edit a new report that you publish it under your workspace. And you need actually to, just a minute, I just wanted to see how we can pin this one. Either you can, if you want, for example, if you want to pin the whole dashboard, or you can, for example, I don't want to see everything on my application, it's too much. For example, I want to see this one, or I want to see, for example, only this card on my Power Apps. Is it possible? What should I do? What if I want to see, for example, the table that I have it here? Just a minute. Okay. Let me add this one on. Okay. Okay, here we go. What if I want to see the table only on my Power Apps? You need to click on pin the visual, second step after you publish, and from there you need to create like a new dashboard. And if you have exist already dashboard for this one, you can choose it, but here I will call it, for example, agent 008 table view. And then okay, go to the dashboard, don't save. First step, you need to publish your report or the visualization that you want to add it to your Power Apps. Then you need to pin a specific, for example, here I have one visual. You just need to pin it and under a specific dashboard. And if you have 100, you just need to pin all your dashboard. Then go to back to your application. The powerful things that with Power BI actually and Power Apps here, that we have already built in functionality that will help you to pin, for example, here your Power BI tiles. In Power Apps, in Power BI, we have a specific visualization that you just need to click on it and add your application. And similar way here, if you go to your Power Apps, insert, and go to chart, there is something we call it here Power BI tile. If you click on it, and it's really easy to use, you just need to select from here the workspace, which is the same space that I already published my report on it. So my workspace, then the dashboard. You cannot select the report. That's why we need to pin the visual, because here you cannot add the whole dashboard. You need to add the tile visual actually from Power BI. Select the dashboard that you have it, for example, agent 008. Let me find agent 008 table view, right? And what if I have a several tile, for example? So I will select the correct name, which is the exam name, month, status, exam is given by. So the table, it means the table. And from there, here we go. It will take a few seconds and it will be reflected back. So now the Power Apps, the functionality that we have it's trying to take whatever you have in your dashboard and reflect it back here on this page on Power Apps. And how can I add more than one? Yes, actually, you need to do the same step for other tiles that you have it. And here we go. If we look at it here, I'm able to see whatever I'm having actually here. And if you click on it, let's try again and see what will happen. If I click on it, it will navigate me to the Power BI service, which is the same dashboard or the same one that I have it on my under this dashboard that I already been it. So it will navigate me to the correct link, which is this one. So this is how we can embed it, our Power BI tile within the Power Apps. It's really easy to use. And there is another trick actually, and which is I can share it I can arrange a specific session later on how we can, like the trick that I told you on Power BI, that even if we are using the import data, how can I reflect back whatever I'm doing on my Power Apps without using a direct query. Second trick here, actually, what if I want to filter, for example, what if I want to filter my visual here without going back to the Power BI? And here it show me only the whole things. What if I want to do a filter for the status is completed? Can I add it from Power Apps? Actually, you can add it, but there is a trick, because the data that you have it here, it's in your Power BI, and maybe it's not the same data that you have it on Power Apps. So there is a specific functionality we need to add it, which is I can prepare it on a video or another session. So, any question so far?
And I have another question.
Okay.
These are online tools,
Yes,
right?
actually,
And
yes.
let's
Hmm.
imagine that I have a company, but due to regulations, I cannot use these online tools. For
Hmm.
example, I think Power BI has an
Hmm.
application, desktop application.
Yes.
Does Power Apps has a desktop application that I can use on my data center, not on cloud, or
Okay.
this
So
online
for
tool?
this one, actually, it's online tool, but there is a functionality that, for example, as an end user, if you are using your data, if you are filling the form and your connection is already lost or something, and you click on save, there is a function that you can use it to save your whatever you are adding on a specific collection, and once the internet come back, you can save it to the original data source. But to use this one, actually, it's on online data, online a tool, so you need to be connected to the internet to be able to use this one. So yeah, so I'm not sure if there is a new update on how, if it's possible to do all this editing similar to the Power BI. Like Power BI, you can use it, but for example, if you are using a SharePoint as online and you want to refresh your data, and if you are not connected to your internet, you will face an issue, like there is an issue with your data source because it's an online data source. So, but for Power Apps, it's online tool. I'm not sure if there's any plan in the future, or maybe we have something now. But so far, what I know, that it's an online tool to use it to update all your application. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Welcome. So, what we have been learned today, actually, we learned, like, let me go back. We learned on what's Power BI, what's Power Apps in general, and also we learned like how we can use both tools together. Actually, you can use each tool individually. It depends on, at the end, on your business case, and how we can integrate both, like Power Apps into Power BI, and the opposite way, how we can add the Power BI tiles in our Power Apps. So I hope that you learned something new today. And if you are not familiar with all these tools, I really suggest for you to start learning about all these powerful tools. Actually, it's helped me a lot on a lot of things, and I'm getting this position as a digital analyst because of all these powerful tools. So I learned while I'm doing my job. And while you are, I cannot consider myself as an expert, actually, because still I'm learning, and I will keep learning. And every time Microsoft, they surprised us with a lot of functionality, a lot of update that keep me, I just wanted to keep my eyes open to learn more and more and follow all these updates. And still we have, there is a lot of updates it's coming. And if you look at the Microsoft Learn, it's a good site to start learning about Power Apps, Power BI. Actually, from me, how I learned all these tools, I learned it by using a YouTube from many MVPs that they are posting their videos on the YouTube, but plus the Microsoft Learn. So Microsoft Learn, there is a lot of documents, a lot of things for all the level, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and they guide you how to do. And there is a lot of lab exercises will help you also to learn more about all these tools. So this is what I have for you today. And If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm super active on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube also, and you can also find me on Meetup. I have a specific group on Meetup. I'm arranging every Friday a specific session related to a several topic, and the name of the group is Sharing is Caring. You can follow me there. So thank you so much for having me today, and
You're
thank you
welcome.
for giving me this opportunity to
You're
share
welcome.
my knowledge, and hopefully I can join this webcast again to share more and more with you. Thank you
Sure.
so much. Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome. Before this session, I didn't have any idea about Power Apps, but now
Mm-hmm.
I can say I know what Power Apps is and where can I use it. So thank you very
Mm-hmm.
much for this session.
Welcome.
And I
Welcome.
would like to have you on further episodes
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yeah,
have
sure.
mentioned some tricks to show other episodes. So we can do it again.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll be very happy to share with you a lot of tricks actually. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
And thank you very much and see you
Thank
soon.
you. See you. Bye
Okay.
bye. Have a
Bye.
nice day.
Cheers.
Bye.